I'll be showing you how to make the motor in this video. Alright, so first you're going to take your 22 gauge magnet wire. You can do a marker or any kind of cylinder object. I'm going to be using my 1.5 volt battery, C battery. So I have a few hanging off here. Wrap around about 5 to 10 times I think is good. Okay, I'm gonna have this a bit hanging off. I'm gonna take my wire cutters, clamp it down. Yeah, I got it. Alright, so slide it out. Here we have our coil. Now to keep it in place, we're going to wrap these extra wires around a little bit. Keep that cylinder in place. Have these wires on opposite sides of each other. Alright, so here's our coil. So there were a few designs I saw in a few videos on the Winx that would tell you to either scrape only halves on both sides. I've tried a few of those designs and they did not work for me. But what did work was scraping all of one wire and only the top half of the other side. I won't show myself scraping it off. I'm just gonna pull up one that's already been scraped because scraping it kind of takes a while. And yeah, here's the coil we'll be using. Now, the next part are the stands. These are the finished ones here. These are made out of my 18 gauge wire. I clarified in my other video that I used the 18 gauge wire to make the stands in the motor. And yeah, and how I did that was I just took a lot of wire out, clamped it again. Everything's just so big and bulky. This is the part where I use my X-Acto knife to scrape off the enamel so the copper wire will conduct with the battery. Yeah. Again, there's a lot of ground to cover and this video is long enough as is. So yeah, I did that and I created these. So now this is the assembly part. But before we do that, we're going to test our battery with our voltmeter to make sure it's not been used and has an actual current going through it. So I'm going to move these aside for now. Yeah, cap the X-Acto knife when you're done using it so you don't cut yourself. I actually did cut myself a little. It was on accident though. So here's our voltmeter. It's off. Now it's on. We're going to set it to 1.5 volts. The voltage on our battery is listed as 1.5 volts. Here's our battery connected to. And yeah, some charge is showing up. 1.5, what we expected. So our battery is viable. Now we're going to use this voltmeter again when we attach these fixtures. So this is the part where you get your electrical tape. I have a few already cut off here. So I'm gonna do the flat end first. I find it easier when you do that. Wrap it on. Get it nice and as flat as you can. Okay, the hard part is this side because it has a groove here, so this side tends to be a lot more unstable compared to the flat side, as expected. So you gotta get some more electrical tape. This is usually the hardest part, trying to align these two bobs. Alright, before we start sealing everything, we're going to take out the voltmeter again. I clarified in the other video that the paper clips were a design flaw because they weren't able to conduct the electricity as well as these magnet wires. So I'm going to move the voltmeter into frame here. Make sure these are properly contacting. So it's a little unstable. So we're gonna have to fix this a little more. Oh, in the good grace of God. Let's try some more. Yeah, that's better. Let's just roll with that. Get a move on. Right now, take your 2 strands of duct tape. Yeah. Hold it down. Do one side first. Alright, so now here comes the last part. Just putting on the magnets, and then you put in your coil, and voila! That's how you make the motor. This one actually turned out a little more stable than the other one. Oh well. Anyway, that's all. Enjoy the video, and have a nice day.